Blue despair and agony on me. Oh, deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Blue despair and agony on me. Nope, I'm not depressed, but I got to tell you, the thought that these people keep hollering about how these polls are tied and how they're even, Kamala and Trump, it is somewhat depressing because you're going to say, well, how will we ever be able to get through to these people if they're still willing to vote for Donald Trump, even with all the evidence, even with all of the horrible things he said throughout from the very beginning? It can be depressing. So I wish this shit would hurry up and get over. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. How you doing, Annette 75? Number one here. When a couple more people get in here, we're going to play a little bit of this thing. It's only a couple minutes. With Charlamagne the God, and I hate to call him that. I don't call no human a god. Charlamagne. If I slip, please correct me. His name is Charlamagne, as far as this household, which would include me and my dog goes. Charlamagne and Anderson Cooper, and also Angela Yee. No, not Angela Yee. What's the other girl? It'll come back to me. Anyway, they were on CNN last night, right? And I want y'all to hear a little bit of what they said. Hey, LT, you haven't been around in a while? It's all about Trump these days, man. Only a few more days of it. A few more days of hell. It's just Charlamagne. That's correct. Let's hear what happened on CNN between Charlamagne and Anderson.
Blackness, or is he a DEI hire? Y'all will have roundtable discussions about that, asking that question. How come you're not having roundtable discussions asking, is Donald Trump a fascist? Actually, not even asking it, stating it. I mean, when you look at the things that he's talking about doing, jailing journalists, jailing his political opponents, turning the military on American citizens. The guy said he wanted to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. How come that is not the topic of discussion on networks like CNN every day?
But do you think that, I mean, you were raising this with Kamala Harris about her own authenticity, about her own willingness to just, say things that aren't crafted. Do you think she needs to do more of that? Trump's going to go.
What more she needs to do?
Apparently, Trump's is going to tape a thing with Joe Rogan. Do you think she should do that?
I think that she should keep calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I think that Americans need to keep looking at the rhetoric of Donald Trump, because I don't know why we're even thinking about electing somebody who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why we're talking, or why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. Are we supposed to be a patriotic country? Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic. But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election and nobody cares. Like even me bringing it up.
Right. So we'll pick that up again. But I tend to agree. I don't like the coverage of CNN on politics. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a longtime fan of Anderson Cooper. I've watched him since the beginning, whenever he went on CNN, however long that is. But when it comes to these politics, they still have this Republican opinion about everything that makes totally good sense. Every time they report on this foolishness of Donald Trump, they got to put a Republican on to rebut it and try to spin it to make it make sense. It sounds more like a spin room. CNN has become a spin room, right? Democrats put their spin, Republicans put their spin on it, correct? They don't really seem to have much regard for what is blatantly foolish. All this shit that Donald Trump has done, only the shit that he has done in a week's time should have disqualified him in the minds of most Americans. Yet they're still on here talking about how he's half in the polls, right? And they keep taking these Republican pundits that are on CNN like their opinion is so valuable and so important. And it is not. Just what Donald Trump has done in the legal system, that should be a top story forever until election day, right? That he's got all these damn felonies. He's got all these civil cases. He's got cases going all the way back to before he even became in politics. He's had multiple incidents of his racism. He is not ashamed of his racism. He's on here. He's talking about everybody in America who does not have pink skin, right? And they put him on like he is a serious candidate. But I believe that CNN is part of the reason that people take him seriously. He should have been disqualified, correct? They're always talking about what Kamala. Well, you think she could have did that better? She got to do. How much more does she have to do better? Right? What about what this fool talking about getting rid of the Constitution? This fool talking about he want to be like Adolf Hitler. Oh, they said I was Hitler. They said you said it, nigga. You the one brought it up. All the shit that he does on a daily basis. Where else can you go and just blatantly talk about putting people out of this country? Like he is so much better than they are. They are immigrants, and you are immigrants from a generation or two before them. Your wives are immigrants. Elon Musk an immigrant, right? They're all immigrants. Everybody's a goddamn immigrant, right? Right? But he can go in there and just piss and shit all over them people, and like it don't mean anything. This is what he really meant. This is like you are you trying to be both MSNBC and Fox at the same time? You can't do it. Pick a side, CNN. I strongly believe that. I turn the channel whenever they put that whatever that fool's name on there. They got these two fools, one bald-headed and the other one look like some guy, a Sunday school teacher, whoever. They come on there and spin whatever the fuck Donald Trump has done lately, which is basically every day. Every day he's showing cognitive decline, right? So we blew up the whole goddamn government over Joe Biden's cognitive decline. And yet you're going to ignore this bullshit that Trump is doing? Really? And then we have to have a Republican opinion about it. And Anderson's on here talking about how he got to have both sides. I got to have both sides. But yeah, their side's a lie. You don't care about reporting the goddamn news. Either the fool said it or he isn't. Is he a fascist or isn't he? Let's get another small taste.
Now you brought it back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson?
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
Well, I mean, I think you give a damn who's elected president, and
yeah,
I'm asking
that
you.
president is
Anderson gets started getting offended.
Putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his political opponents. Like that rhetoric doesn't scare people.
Well, we talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I've been talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I like that.
That's
Go ahead, Anderson.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours. Okay, but to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black, like
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
Bullshit.
I've never asked somebody
I'm not saying you. I said the network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all have never had
definitely.
You don't watch it all, Anderson.
Look, I'm sure we have had nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe.
Well, that's what your other commentators do. Those two, the bald-headed one and the other one. Those two white dudes that you have on there, they come on and whatever is being said, they spin it. You let your channel become a spin room, correct? They don't believe that bullshit. It couldn't possibly, right? So I think that what Charlamagne, the point he's trying to make, it is true. And I believe that CNN and stations like them, although I think they're kind of unique, helped put Trump in the White House the first time, because he should never have been taken seriously as a candidate. It was the media who made him a candidate, right? This was a reality star to spend his whole youth on the front pages of the National Enquirer. And that's who you ran for president. And now he's gotten more strange and more bizarre than even 216, correct? And you and every time you put it on there, you talk about it for 1 minute right? And then you got to bring on the Republicans to rebut it or to give their spin on it, correct? Which is always the opposite. Why even put them on there if you know whatever they're going to say is just going to be a spin on whatever facts you just presented? I'd rather you do it like MSNBC. This Anderson Cooper also called out. He kind of threw some shade at NBC as well. But frankly, I'd rather somebody speak the truth because they attempt to speak the truth. And no matter how you feel about it, the Democrats are running a candidate who is there to speak the truth. Yes, she has to make promises. Yes, she has to tackle certain things. Yes, she has to do all the things that a politician has to do to get elected. But she's not on here talking about eating people's cats and dogs, right? I guess she just killed the cat and lay him out on the plate. And all the immigrants eat the cats and all that. I mean, this is the kind of shit that Donald Trump spews against all of these immigrants. Like the immigrants are the worst thing that ever happened to America. Yet, all of America, they're all immigrants. Except for us, the ones because you could do it, you went over there and bought us. Correct? But we're here now, honey. Ain't a goddamn thing ain't nothing you can do about it. Why is he even been taken seriously as a candidate? Now I got a trip here trying to remember all the shit that Trump says, not since he started running for office. Just remember the shit that he has said this week. This is Friday, right? So what stupid shit has Trump done since Monday? Right? Can Kamala do that? And then all this bullshit about this race being even. I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit. And if he were by any chance to win, it would be because he cheated. Just like he talks about everybody else cheating constantly, yet he's the only proven cheater. He's a cheater. He's a liar. He's no good. A heartbreaker. He is a liar and he's a cheat. We done found Donald Trump has participated in everything except murder, but we don't know everything. Correct? Hold on a minute. We are not going back. He's talking about go make America white again. And then he talking about making it to the 1800s where wasn't slavery? Isn't that when they had slavery? Is that when you want to take it back to, Donald Trump? Is that when America was great? Everything, they catch him in a lie and damn near everything that comes out of his mouth. And they normalize it, right? Because the Republican got to give his take on it. Well, what do you think, Mr. Republican? Why is that even necessary, Cooper? Just tell the damn truth. Can anybody come on there and tell the truth without the truth being rebutted? Oh, they didn't, what do you call it? Oh, it's so cute. I guess the kids are giving, having a tour outside my window. Anyway. Well, I was just saying. I forget. Let's get another little taste. So your uncle will remember what the fuck you talking about. I tried to say goodbye and I choked. Hold on a minute.
I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about, the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president. But it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's, against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I don't know what you've been watching, but I don't know of any Trump supporters out there or people who like him who are tuning in to me every night to try to get, to be validated in their opinions. I don't know. I don't know. I disagree. I don't think it's about
want you to report the news.
You mean validating the Trump?
Well, you're saying that we're not, that I guess you're saying I'm not discussing all the things he is saying and doing and pointing it out and talking to, what John Kelly, this has been discussed. There's nobody, let me just say, there is nobody on the planet who has not heard and seen pretty much everything Donald Trump has said and knows.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
When the vice whether they believe it or not, whether they care or not.
When the vice president said that to you last night, she said, "I don't think enough people know." I 100% believe enough people have not heard his rhetoric. What do you think, Angela?
Because all
I
they
was
watch
just
is
about
Fox
to say,
News.
can y'all tag me in? I'm never doing this
I'm sorry,
with y'all ever again.
Angela, yes. It's the problem.
This is, I'm on CNN
I
right
know,
now,
here's
Vaughn.
the problem. No, I was just going to say, I think what you're saying is fair, that there have been roundtable discussions where y'all raised this. I think the problem is it would be nice for, you to cut to camera and say, I'm looking right here, right now. Y'all, Kamala Harris is a black woman.
Right,
Let's move right along.
Yeah,
but I was going to say to your colleague's credit, Jake, right after the town hall yesterday, he said that you all had the opportunity to critique what Kamala Harris' policy proposals were, what her positions were, what her recommendations were, whether or not she answered her question fair enough, because, ta-da, she's the only one that showed up for the town hall. Yeah. It was supposed to be a debate. He said that. I think that the point is we don't hear those things enough, and it has been a threat. We cannot say, Kamala is going on with Joe Rogan, Donald Trump is going on with Joe Rogan, but Kamala's choosing Club Shay Shay. Debate it. Like, it's like, what is he going to say when he goes on? Here's
what I've been saying, which is it is a double standard because Kamala Harris has policies and she talks about her policies. And you may think she doesn't talk in detail enough about her policies, and plenty do. And I pushed her on that last night. I quiz. I try to look at the policies from different, but she's got stated policies and you can look them up. Donald Trump does not have policies.
Wait a
minute. This is not because he doesn't have policies. That means you got to put on this goddamn this routine he does, just like his equal. But you're only going to question Kamala about the details of every thought she has about every aspect of the government. But since he gonna lie anyway, he can just feel free to go and lie. Just make it up. Just say anything stupid, right? Because it's how you're going to report on it as if they're equal things. They're not equal things. One is the truth, and one is his bullshit. Correct? And he's just using you to spread it. And why do you have to have these Republicans to come on to repute everything that is the news? If it is the news, it's simply the news. We don't need the Republicans to come and spin it. Oh, that's not what he meant. No one believes that. No one believes. Yeah, just like he told us that everybody in this country wanted Roe versus Wade overturned. Everybody wanted. Everybody. I mean, he's not even required. You don't fact check him. Oh, it's too much to fact check. It's too much to fact check. So that means you don't do nothing. I'm sorry. It is stupid. It is CNN trying to get both audiences. They're trying to get the Fox audience and the Democratic stations audience. Other stations can do that without pandering to Republican Party. Like, for instance, PBS, Lester Hope channel. Lester Hope was at NBC. These are excellent. These are excellent people. They just report the news. Now, that's just reporting the news, Anderson. I like it. You're a decent guy. But I think this dude is making a good point here. Now, Charlamagne, for some reason or other, he is well respected among pretty much everybody. His political opinions. He's been on everybody's channel. He's been on everybody's station, whatever. So, yeah, it's not like some hip hop dude coming on there with a silly opinion. He has a serious opinion. And I agree. Today, Anderson Kubin getting caught flat-footed and backpedaling like a mug. That's right. Hit him with that language, baby. He's getting irritated. Anderson Kubin is clearly getting irritated. They're trying to laugh through it, but he is definitely getting irritated and bothered because he's being called out. And and then he attacks MSNBC, right? Because he said he's not a pundit. He's just a newscaster. And he wants everybody's opinion. No. Just report the news. That's all you got to do. Trump said this. Kamala said that. And that's it. We don't need a Republican. You don't need these Republican bald-headed people coming on there, child, that tell us what Trump really meant. No, we don't need that. That is not reporting the news, honey.
There's nothing new. We talk about this all the time. He does not have his policy in the 2016. His policy for Iraq was taking Iraq's oil by using U.S. soldiers to surround the oil fields and extract the oil somehow and bring it to America. I mean, literally. And I was like, that's not a thing. So that's been going on now. That's what
you just
nobody.
did. What you just did is what I would like to hear more.
Thank you, June.
Do, because a lot of times we ask, we ask answers.
All right,
like we say things.
Look
like,
how bothered
Donald
Anderson's
Trump is
getting.
a fascist. Like I think we kind of got enough.
You know what? I'm not a pundit. I'm not interested. I don't think my opinion is particularly interesting for viewers out there. I'm interested in.
I disagree.
Okay, well, you can quibble with it.
I disagree with that too.
You're starting to stutter, Anderson.
I believe in asking questions and probing people's arguments and trying to reveal people's arguments, what's true and what's not. And I'm not on MSNBC for a reason. I'm not on some other network for a reason. I'm on CNN because I want to talk to Republicans. I want to talk to Democrats, and I want to learn from them. I don't think I have the answers. I'm willing to change my mind. People can convince me of stuff all the time. I'm not I don't even know why I'm talking about myself. I don't even know what I'm talking about myself.
No, but Anderson,
but
I
my
want
point
to tell you this.
I think what we're doing here is important because
It
I
is
do
so
think in this
important.
country where, you know what, I got so many, I don't look at comments about myself, but I was looking up some comments about my grief podcast, and I came across this whole inundation from people who are Harris supporters saying to me online today, like, how dare you, what a betrayal that you would ask her these questions.
No,
and I'm like,
your job.
you misunderstand what my job is. I'm not on MSNBC, and no disrespect. What they do is they're very talented, but I don't watch it. I'm not interested in watching what these overpaid blow-dried anchors think, and I include myself in that overpaid blow-dried. Although I don't blow dry, I am overpaid. But I'm not interested in the anchor's opinion. I'm interested in facts and letting the viewers make up their own mind. So anyway, I'm sorry this developed.
I like that you said that, but I will just say,
you know good and damn well that there's no facts with no damn Donald Trump. That shit don't make no more sense from one day to the next day, right? This dude sitting up on stage for 39 minutes doing this. And the topic of conversation is not his cognitive decline. He's sitting there looking on. He's talking about how big his goddamn crowds are, and then we're looking at Kamala Harris with a crowd that, in every instance, is 4 or 5 times the size. If you double it and then double it and then double it, that's the size of her crowds. And y'all still on here talking about, oh, it's equal. It's equal. It's always been equal. It's going to be a tough race. You know, all that's trickeration. It's all that is bullshit. Correct? Just report the goddamn news. Start counting people. You people got enough money. Put people at the gates and count them. How y'all doing today? What's going on, Primo Onda? That's right. Y'all can Cash App. Y'all been all but dried up on the Cash App. Don't be giving it to them charlatans over there. Please consider early voting. Oh, yeah? Do anybody know the number of people who have already voted? I know California have it, so I voted the same day I got the ballot. And most people I know have already voted. So they say if you tally all of the early voting and tally all in-person voting and tally all of the mail-in votes and all that, that's still just going to be half of the total vote. They get the other half on voting day. And Republicans are more known for showing up on the day, right? So we got to have a real strong turnout. Real strong turnout. If they can really whip him like he deserves to be whipped, then they don't have to do all these recounts because he's going to drag us through every goddamn state. We've been sitting here talking about this shit for 3, 4, 5 years. He's still talking about the last one, child. Although he clearly lost, and I believe that it should have been a loss with Hillary. If she got 6 million more votes, and they telling us that our votes mean so goddamn much, child, then why isn't she the president? Oh, we figured it out. We figured out my ass. If you want me to go down there and vote, and you're saying my vote is so important, and people have died and fought for my vote, then my vote should count. Mm-hmm. How's everybody? Ladies, y'all see my new, look at my new thing. I found something new. You notice anything different about my apartment? Look at it over there. Wings, baby. I couldn't resist. I got me new wings and a new a pedestal to put them on. First, I found a pedestal. And I went home. I said, no, Timothy, you don't need not one more item in your apartment. You're done. And you have been done for several years. Then I came home. Then I thought about it all night. I prayed and I prayed, kept getting deeper involved. And then I turned it over to my mind and I stopped worrying about, ran down to the place and I bought them out. Anyway, that's what I did yesterday. Y'all got an opinion on this stuff? Fraser Laurie's here. Hi, Fraser Laurie, with the kisses. Prima Wanda got more kisses. How many days we got now? Is it 11 days? Just makes you uncomfortable. The anxiety, honey. Anticipation. Anticipation is making us wait. It's keeping us waiting. After that stunt with Hillary Clinton, I can never feel comfortable. I know she should win by a landslide, right? I know that no matter how much they keep talking about everything is tied in this poll, tied in that poll, whatever. I know I can see the enthusiasm of her crowds, and I can see the diminishing enthusiasm in his crowds. Obviously, the size of the crowds. I mean, it is such a huge difference. She's packing out stadiums where there are no more seats left. He's filling up half the stadiums and pushing them to the front, right? So you can't trust anything, honey. She done spent $1 billion on that bullshit. It shouldn't have took nothing but $300 or $400 to beat him. You voting in Indiana? We got early voting in Indiana? I got to make sure my relatives, well, they all vote. They all pretty politically minded. I remember when Obama was running, a good part of my family, well, about 10 or 12 of them came here to visit, right? And we all happened to be in this apartment when Barack Obama was singing. What song did he sing after that slaughter at the church? And he broke out in song, and we all rushed into the bedroom to watch Obama sing. What's the song? Y'all know? Tell me. You know my memory's failing me. What song did Barack Obama sing after that? Those black people were slaughtered by that Ruth fool, and they were having the service on the same day. Amazing Grace, yeah, amazing Grace, how sweet the sound I saved a wretch. It was beautiful. It was a moment with the fam. So I'm glad they're early voting there as well. I guess most people are early voting now. We need major turnout. The angel wing. That's it, Jaylyn. I had the wing for a little bit, but I didn't have that pedestal. You see, I have one almost identical, but it's skinny one in the back. But then I saw this one, and it's that one's old. It's antique. And then I thought about the wing, so I brought it out of the bedroom. Had to change. Of course, I had to change everything in the apartment now to accommodate that. And then I end up like I always do, end up putting everything right back where it was. I just changed the one thing. But I go through that shit every time. That's why I don't like to go shopping anymore. I miss Obama. Are we getting him this week? Saw him yesterday at the rally. One of the greatest speakers and presidents, Kamala, has to win or we are doomed. Absolutely, honey. All the lines are, and women, y'all have, you got to show these people, honey. You can't just take our rights. No, hell no. Hell no. Just on that one issue, which really Trump does not give a fuck. You really believe that Trump gives a goddamn about the Bible say, thou shalt not kill. The Bible say, thou shalt not kill. I'm a Christian too. Just got to stay strong. All that bullshit. He don't give a fuck, right? He's trying to prove please all these goddamn religious people. And they're so dumb. They see the most despicable character who's ever run for public office, the highest office, and they just get right on it. He said he's a Christian. Look, he held the Bible. No, he wrote his name on it and told you to buy it. So stupid. Why ain't he bringing Paula White and parading her ass around no more? They fell out. Who turned down the 2-bedroom Goonies? Justin's is Goonies. Okay, now you're mixing the names up. Goonies never said die, and Justin have merged now. Now is Justin is Goonies. He's coming out. He's coming out. He wants the world to know. Wants the world to know. Gotta let it flow. If you keep buying stuff, you're going to need a bigger apartment. No, one thing in, one thing out. Remember, I used to have that fancy lantern over there, so I moved it over here. I move things around every once in a while, but not that often. But if you look at my early videos, every item in this living room has been changed. I don't think there's one thing left in here when I started recording. So it's just something you do, you know. That's what happens when you get to be an old queen. You buy furniture. That's our assignment. Be quiet, Squeenie. My beautiful Squeenie dog. He likes to be right up under his dad, but if I move this chair, these damn wheels, I'm scared I'm gonna roll over his tail or something. They should have a doggy vote and go and put his paw on the paper. African angels visiting Paula White and teaching her a lesson to not come for them unless they send for her. Paula White got all them coins. Did she move on to something else now? I haven't heard her. I'm sure she's separated from Trump now. Maybe the people, her congregation with no church, brought up enough about how she's supporting Trump, supposed to be his spiritual advisor, and he's out here raping women and shit. Getting convicted of 34 felonies. Now they say he's trying to do the same thing they got convicted for. 34 felonies wasn't enough, Trump. They should have sentenced your ass on the spot. Now you done delayed that again. Oh, it's too close to the election. I delayed for 8 years. Like to be under the office chair, Frazier. They want to be near their ma and pa. It's a love thing. Change your chat setting from top chat to live chat. The chat will be in order so you don't have to keep scrubbing through to find out what we are talking about. You give those instructions, Justin. Is that the Justin part or the Goonies part? What the hell is he talking about? Okay, what I'm supposed to do now? You have so many instructions, Justin. Change it from what? Chat. From top chat to live chat. Oh, live chat is better? Let's see. Every once in a while, I learn something new. Let me see. So is it in order now, Justin? Does that meet your qualifications? You said you are buying too much stuff, so much stuff. That's why I said you should. Wait a minute. I don't buy so much stuff. I'm called a maximalist. This is I decorate the same way I did when I was in before I even went to high school in 8th grade. My bedroom looked just like this, right? So it ain't too much stuff for me, right? But it's got to be one thing in, one thing out. That's how it's been. I had to put one of these pedestals out in the trash today. I used to find somebody to give them to, but They take too long to pick stuff up. Like I got room to be storing shit, so I just start putting it out on the curb. That is the norm in San Francisco. You don't want it, put it outside. Somebody moved out of this building a couple of days ago, and they had beautiful furniture, and they put it all out on the sidewalk. Usually that means they done moved out of the city, right? But I couldn't use any of it, and it was all modern too. I don't really like a lot of modern stuff. I found something. Let's see, Obama and Harris together. Oh, you feel good seeing Obama and Harris together, right? It's not a black thing. It's an American thing. We're a diverse country, and we start looking like it, right? When people will be judged by the content of the character, not the color of their skin. It's simple. We can't stop. You can't just have Obama and then that's the end of it. I mean, I believe it should have been Hillary as a woman, but still, this is the first woman to be president as well. We got to keep being progressive, keep moving forward, stay up with the times. Instead of we got to go back to 1826, 1820. Really, Trump? He hasn't even lived in this country. He has been a spoiled brat all of his life. He has been raised in limousines, private schools, maids, all that shit, and then had Fred up there teaching all this stuff, right? Just pumping his head and pumping his head and pumping his head. He ain't actually been out here in the street, honey. Trump don't know shit. She never worked at McDonald's. She never worked at... See, in his mind, that's a big deal to have worked at McDonald's when you're in college. So most people say, well, what's the big story there? She worked at McDonald's. Didn't everybody? Didn't your cousin work at McDonald's? I never heard of such a thing. So that's what he uses in his closing argument. Right? Trump, how do you even have the audacity to sit up here talking about somebody told a lie? A lie, Trump. You're talking about a lie, which is not a lie. I mean, that wouldn't be a hell of a lie. I mean, goddamn, if you're going to lie about something, I think you can pick up them better than working at McDonald's. But for you, when you left office, then they count something like 36 times in office, in your office, 36,000 times you lied. What's the number now, Trump? What's the number for this week? Why would you be talking about somebody lying? Some of the black preachers normalizing it too. The idiots. They're coons and idiots. That's what they are. Easily manipulated. Trump done went on, made them all these goddamn pie in the sky dreams. You're voting against your own interests, your own people. Women, you're voting against your own rights. Right? You're going to get that damn J.D. Vance in there who believes a woman's role is to have babies and that's it. That's her role. He would have them all stay home barefoot and pregnant. That's what you want to hand over the government to. Correct? Like he's going to be finished there. What's next? Do you think J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are going to be fighting for daycare for your children so you can go to work? Hell no. He don't see you as being, you must be staying at home. Take them shoes off, get pregnant again. Everybody's supposed to be pregnant. That means all the crackheads are going to be pregnant. All the people too old to have babies are going to get pregnant by accident. Right? How many of these young girls, they're 13, 14, 15 years old, they made a mistake some goddamn where. They're ashamed to tell their parents what they've done. And they go and let somebody put a hanger up their ass, girl, try to kill the baby and kill themselves. How much of that is going to go on? Trump. Taking pride in it, honey. What you gonna do about his child support, Trump? Since the man don't seem to bear any responsibility at all. Felix, if Trump were by some trickeration were to win, he is 80 years old. He said he's far away from 80 years old. He's a year and a half away from being 80. So by the time he signs in office, he'll be on the cusp of being 80 years old, correct? And he's a fat pig, right? He's in horrible shape. No matter what he has, these people come on here and say, oh, it's the best. He's the most healthy president in United States history. No one's ever seen anything like his health. All that bullshit, child. That doesn't even sound like a decent lie. Then that means he could drop dead at any minute, correct? People big and huge like that, child. Don't they die in their 80s? And then you have this other fool take over, Vance. He's a never Trumper, and he just flips it over. Oh, no, I believe in Trump. Trump wouldn't say that. Here's what he meant. All this bullshit, child. Both losers. Losers. Even that decision for him, the person he picked to be his running mate should tell you he's incompetent. Women should be punished. That's right. He's going to throw your ass in jail if you don't carry a baby. If you make one mistake on one hot night, right? Now you got to carry not just carry a baby to term, baby, right? You are definitely on the hook for the next 18 years with the baby you didn't want. You have it doesn't stop there. People go off to college and they come back home and they have problems and all kind of shit, child. You are their parent forever. So you gonna let a man or these group of men tell you how your rest of your life is going to play out? It should be offensive to you. No woman should ever vote for Donald Trump. Almost as bad as listening to these stupid ass coons. Oh, Trump did for black people because you got them damn stimulus check. Well, you had to give a stimulus check. This motherfucker was in downward spiral, right? Nobody was working. Nobody had food. What was he supposed to do? You kind of supporting him for doing his job? Come on, he wants you to shoot bleach. That's how much he thought about the whole situation with COVID. You can see how much he thought about it. Just put the bleach in there, and it's no big deal. It will just go away. You're so intelligent, Donald Trump. Did it just go away, or were billions and billions spent all over this country, child, trying to fight, or it's succeeding in eventually fighting COVID, and we still got to get shots every year? Did it just go away, Trump? It was just go away. Brilliant. You're a very brilliant man. Religious fanatic. I don't think that you are a sincere religious fanatic. I wouldn't even consider you a sincere Christian person. Christianity is not about God. Christianity is about the church. Correct? So you were promoting all this stuff, these traditional values and all that. Trump ain't got nothing to do with any of that, honey. He out here paying porn stars, and he got 20-something people coming out saying he's over here raping them and shit in semi-public places. He's bragging about it. But, oh, he's a Christian. He's a Christian. Why? Because he came out and said it and stood out there, hold the Bible upside down, talking about, I read it in 2 Corinthians. First of all, you don't read nothing, Trump. I think you're dyslexic more than likely. You don't read nothing. You had documents when you were in the White House, child. They had to condense it all to 1 page. Just now, you read it. Read it to me. Read it to me. But you're a Bible scholar. If you had any reverence for religion, I won't say for God, I would say for a religion, then you wouldn't put your name on the damn Bible and try and sell it. It was nothing but another way to get people's money. You ain't got no respect for that book. You ain't got no respect for those people. You consider them people inbreds. You don't respect white people who are not successful. That's a whole different class of people. You're a classist as well, right? Isn't that why you had a golden elevator? You go up to your apartment, you had golden thrones, all this tacky ass shit up in there, girl. I mean, isn't that saying that you're a classist? Right? You wonder why he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Lord have mercy. He gonna put y'all in prison, baby. Why don't he have a baby? Look like he could have one with that stomach. Oh, speaking of stomachs, I done almost lost my stomach, child. Y'all know how fat I was a few months ago when I started Ozempic. This is a commercial break. I gotta show you progress in case some of you consider it. Now, can you see me? I promise you, I'm not holding nothing in. I'm not holding nothing in. But here's all that's left in the stomach. You see that belt? See how I had to get the stretchy belt because the pants are falling down. Correct? Oh, Zippy. You know, look at them little arms, little thighs and things, child. I'm gonna have to get back on the track, find me a dog babysitter and get back out there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just in these Goonies, in case y'all confused. Okay. What you doing, Jesse? You ready for this politics to go away? Are you sick of it yet? Child, I felt like I was going to drop to my knees when they said that he had won in 2016. I couldn't believe it. I said the woman got 6 million more votes, right? They have to reevaluate that whole thing or this electoral college. I don't understand it. I haven't taken time to figure it out, but it doesn't seem fair to me. It doesn't seem right. Why are they bothering the whole country having all these rallies and spending all these billions of dollars if our vote don't mean shit? It comes down to 6 states. They need to take another look at that. The Dems in Congress gave them stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. And like Trump passing out checks. No, he wrote his name on that like he writes his name on everything, Torre. Everything he's ever taken credit for. Most of it came from Obama's administration, right? And anything that got accomplished was accomplished because of Congress. He just writes his name on it, like he does everything. Writes his name on buildings, golf courses, and all that. And he presented that he's a multi-billionaire. He had to keep telling you he's a multi-billionaire, right? Because he's not actually. It's all hype, right? He even had to go on the TV show, make it. What the fuck? What billionaire multi-billionaires got time to be sitting around making TV shows? No, that was the most money you ever made, Trump. Was the show. Claiming to be a billionaire. And if you were such a billionaire, you should have helped your friend Rudy out after he went to bat for you and fell out on the sword, honey. You left him the dangle, child. So he didn't care. Oh, I like that name, Jesse. Hey, Goon. What do you think about that, Goonies? I just call you Goon. I'm Goonies. I'm just in these Goonies, but you can call me Goon. Better a goon than a coon, I tell you that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm embarrassed by then you got black celebrities. Oh, the 5 black celebrities. Well, out of the 1 million black celebrities, you found 5. You heard that Joe Brown calling Kamala Harris a whore, calling who's her pimp and all this kind of crazy ass shit. He reveals what a fucking piece of shit he is. Coon. Like you really believe Trump's gonna do a better job than Harris. It's stupid. Fucking idiots. Mm. Is anything going on that beef sector? Honey, y'all done took over the beef sector. There was the old beef sector and the new beef sector. I don't even know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all are arguing about the Halloween costume contest. Well, bless their hearts. We had our time. Let them have theirs, honey. But not much to follow there anymore. For the moment, this politics thing is kind of taking up the airways, and this P. Diddy shit. They still, honey, they're gonna put him under the jail. Now, I will say this: I'm glad them boys are getting out. And now I know people gonna say they killed their parents. They killed their parents 30-something years ago. Was it 40 years ago? I told y'all the story. I was actually on the bus when they were going to trial. I went to prison for the first time, and they have been sitting in that place since then. That was back in 89. Around 1989, I was on a bus with both of them, actually. They were going to court in Beverly Hills. I had stole something from Beverly Hills. So we were on the bus together. The guy, Eric, turned around and told to me, because the people were teasing me. I'll say it again because you weren't here. I was on the back. We had bright oranges. All homosexuals wore bright orange uniforms. So we were separated, right? But we had to ride the bus with the hardheads. So the hardheads would give me a hard time like they do everybody in orange, right? Hey, motherfucker, you be sucking dick. All that kind of stuff, right? We're in cages in the front of the bus, and they're all in the back. And then the Eric Menendez, he turned around and say something to me. No, man, don't let them get you down, dog. He was talking nice to me or whatever, and they saw his face. And when they saw his face, because he was turning around to talk to me, then they attacked him. So the rest of the whole conversation became just them. Man, you really fucked your mom. Did you blow your mom's brains out? All this kind of stuff, right? I felt sorry for them even back then, because the kid was 19 years old. So since he was 19 years old, he's now in his 50s. Even though they were clearly guilty, and maybe we'll never know the extent of the abuse they suffered, I would still say they've done 35 years in prison. I mean, it used to be a murder charge, as long as they don't put that L on you. I mean, it's not the L. It's the without the possibility of parole. If you don't have that on your sentence, then you just get life in prison. With life in prison, you still get out eventually, somewhere around the time they're getting out now. So let's hope that they can squeeze some life out. I mean, 50 is still not, it's not decrepit. They still got a few work years left. They still have family, even though they couldn't profit from the death of their parents since they're the one that did it. That money went to somewhere in the family, right? So perhaps they're still going to have support to get their life on track. But that's a long time to be in prison. 35 years. Anyway, they took all his names off the buildings in New York. They took all his oh, I know that hurt him, child. They took all his names off the buildings in New York City, except for one. And there were so many buildings that had his name on it. Right. He started selling the name. It's like everything is all about putting his name on shit. That's why he put his name on our Holy Bible. Bible's been around for 6,000 years. He put his name on that as well. So you get the Trump Bible. Lord only know what was in it. They should have had him quote. Well, could you quote some scripture? Donald Trump. In the beginning. Mm-hmm. How'd y'all get to over there to Mel Gibson? Yeah, he's of something else too. Mel Gibson is a Trump supporter. That's not surprising. He hates all minorities as well. He proved that he's a bigot, racist. He's had several outbursts with his racist. It must be terrible to go through life like that, though. Why would you? I mean, you consider yourself to be the privileged ones, since you have a lighter colored skin and you have more privilege because of the history of this place. Why would you spend your life now hating everybody else? Mel Gibson, he hated the Jews. What? Then they say they're Christians, but isn't the Bible, isn't that all Christians? Isn't it the story of the Jews? So how can you be anti-Semitic? You're just hateful. You spend your life hateful. He's a drunk. He'll get drunk and go off on one minority after another, honey. They're just hateful pigs. That's what Donald Trump is. He done went off on every minority, and then he keeps coming up and showing up in their places. What the fuck was he supposed to be doing in that barbershop a couple of days ago? What the fuck is he doing in Detroit? Throw it up in your face. Talk shit about you right to your face. Mel Gibson, yes, washed up actor. You need to get off that shit. Off that booze, honey. They said he was on a comeback for a while as a director, but he can't control himself. You're a hardcore bigot. Probably your mama's a hardcore bigot. Your daddy's a hardcore bigot. And you just can't break away. Those are called generational curses. You're cursed. Thank you, Prima Wanda. No, they don't like to cash at me. They don't love their uncle. They say, no, let your uncle eat grass. Let him eat one of them damn statues. The Passion of the Christ. Yeah, I couldn't watch that. That's too violent for me. And then it wasn't even in English, The Passion of the Christ. That was, I think, his biggest movie, but it wasn't even in English. It was just showing the way they abused Christ, the crucifixion. It was so violent. One thing I don't like, I mean, the Catholics have beautiful churches, right? Gorgeous. Catholics have beautiful church, and they have beautiful artwork. I have a lot of it around here. But when you go into some of those churches, they got the man hanging on the cross with the blood running down. I mean, it seems so violent to me. Ah, damn, we got to show us the lashes. We get it. You want to go to the UK? If Trump wins, are the bus tickets and plane tickets going up, honey? They're gonna have a rush at the airport. No, I think I'd just be extraordinarily sad because it would say what condition this country is still in, right? It just amazes me that he has no problem. Trump has no problem with dividing people like that. He has no problem with turning the whites against the blacks against the Mexicans, each race. And then he says he want to gather them all up and deport them all, right? So if you got rid of all the Latin people and all the people you said 180 countries they've invaded here, Trump, you got rid of all of them, then who's left for you to fuck with? Are you going to turn it back on us then? Because you can't get rid of our black ass? Right? Because it seems like every time you're in conflict with a black person, they are some kind of inferior person. They're low IQ and all that. Although we all have evidence that you cheated your way through college. You're not an educated person, right? You use your daddy's money to cheat your way. Every test probably that you took of any significance, you didn't take those tests, correct? But you want to call everybody else dumb and stupid. Yet you're the one that says all this stupid shit. It's you, Donald Trump. You think you have this warped idea that people are going to pay these tariffs of yours and they're not going to raise the prices. Why would they not do that? It doesn't make any sense. And what happened to the Mexicans who are going to pay for the wall? We're going to build the great, big, beautiful wall. They're going to pay for it. They're going to pay. What, nigga? They should be holding you accountable. You said the Mexican people were going to pay for a wall to keep themselves out of this country, correct? That's what you said, Trump. I'm not making it up, honey. You said that. Why aren't they holding you to it? What happened there, Trump? And you have so many billions. Didn't your guy Steve Bannon? Wasn't that a proven scam where they ended up in prison for out here raising money to build the wall? Does everything you touch turn to shit, Donald Trump? What's left? You got to take care of Trump. Just got to take care of Trump. Here, let me write my name on that. You don't have the damn people getting tattoos with his name on them. I got one more minute here. Well, I hope I spoke to everybody. We only got 11 more days for this bullshit, child. 11 more days and not a word from him. No, it's not going to be like that. he's gonna be pumping this for the next 2 or 3 years, right? Oh, you remember now, Trump's got to stay out of prison. He's got to stay out of prison. Usually 1 or 2 felonies send you to prison. If you do misdemeanors, you go to jail, right? Your jail sentence can exceed a year in most states. But when you start getting felonies now, sometimes you'll do jail time, first time offender, you might do a year in county jail. But when you have 34 felonies, you're convicted of 34 felonies. How in the hell are you going to stay out of prison? We know these bullshit ass people going to put you in there. Oh, we going to give him 1 year with halftime, and he going to wear the ankle bracelet. He's going to promise not to do it again. No. He needs to be locked up like any other American citizen with 34 felonies. They sent me with 1. All right. I'm sorry about the sounds out here. It's hot today. I got to leave the window open. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll check back in with you later. His supporters like a white man saying what they think. They hate being politically correct. The world has changed, people. This is a diverse country, right? And this whole concept of white people, this is something born of the United States. Believe me, when you're in Italy, they're not going around talking about they're white. When you're in London, they're not talking about they're white people. Correct? They're Jews, they're Italians, they're all kind of people, honey. But then they get their ass over here, and now all of a sudden I'm a white people. Where is he even from? Everybody's a goddamn immigrant. Trump. Why don't we use their talents and their gifts to improve this country? So that's what they're doing. They're working their asses off, honey. I can look out my window right now and see people out there working their asses off. And you want to say, hey, they got to go. Get rid of them. You got to go. Who likes that? Nazis? Later, people.